Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee with Changemakers. I'm Robin.
And I'm Yoshi. On the Coffee with Changemakers podcast, we explore the stories of changemakers taking on some of today's biggest social and environmental challenges.
Every episode, we host an intimate conversation on social impact and leadership, where we listen, learn, and connect over a cup of coffee with inspiring guests from all over the world.
So before we jump into today's episode, we have a quick ask. If you enjoy our conversations, it would mean the world to us if you subscribe, rate, and perhaps even tell a friend about the show. Your support helps us bring even more inspiring guests onto future episodes.
So, here's today's coffee chat. Enjoy.
Well, hello, coffee friends. So today we're with Zar Li Aye, right? Yes. She's a senior lawyer and a human rights defender from Myanmar. She's also a Charles Wellis Trust Awardee 2023 and a One Young World Peace Ambassador for 2018. And she was also a Myanmar delegate to the Hague Summit back in 2018, which was also my first One Young World Summit. So it has a really special memory in my heart. So I met Zar Li about 3 weeks ago-ish at the One Young World Youth Leadership Forum that was held in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur this year. And she was just a captivating speaker. And I was very, very touched by a lot of the things that she said. And we are so lucky to have her on Coffee with Changemakers. So welcome, Zar Li, to the podcast.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm flattered and also honored to be here.
So how are you doing today?
I'm feeling well.
I'm
feeling good.
Good. Well, I mean, I want to start off with some very simple, easy questions. So I want to first, ask a couple things about your background and your motivation. So for those of you who don't know you, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and where you're currently based, that would be great.
Yes. First, so this is Zar Li Aye. I'm from Myanmar. And in Myanmar, I was born in Chin State, which is northeast side of Myanmar. And I'm a hill tribe. With my background is with hill tribe. But when I was young, my parents decided to move to the central Myanmar due to the education background because my birthplace there is no proper school, and we don't have even. Up until now, we don't have even university. So that's why my parents decided to move to the central of Myanmar, which is Yangon. In Yangon, I study there with my families and my brother and sister. And as my parents, they are very much believe in education. So yes, of course, so we do achieve bachelor degree and also master degree in Yangon University, and I became a lawyer. So actually when I was young, I never decided to become a lawyer. So I really wanted to become a musician or something like that. But I end up with a lawyer, so to help other people. So yeah. So after I start my career, so a lot of people they know me as a lawyers who fight for justice and to ensure rights to have rights to the accused. And then a lot of people, they also know me that reformation for the justice system in Myanmar.
Amazing. Wow, I didn't know that you had initially considered becoming a musician.
Yes,
That's
of course.
Crazy. Wow. And then you kind of switched from that route to becoming a lawyer.
Yes.
I see. So,
And Zar Li, are you playing music now?
No.
Okay.
Now I think 15 years already, I even have a chance to touch guitar, piano, and drum. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I mean, Can you tell me like what made you switch careers?
Okay. So this is very good story that I always love to share about. So because, when I was young, we grew up in a church. So music is really, influenced, overwhelmed me. And then even, my parents, they are also composed lots of, Christian song. So I love to singing out loud. And that is why, and then, in our family, no one's become that there is no lawyers in our family and also in community in Chin State. So that is why there is, lawyers or legal career is, I never been dream about. But after I passed, high school and at the time we have to choose, major for the university. So, but at the time I was already started in my music career. So I was touring around or something because, at the time I was, emerging new face singer or musician in my country at the time. So I also got a lot of gig and then I traveled city to city or something like that with, bus or something like that. I was so enjoy. I thought, that is my, route or something like that. But before I finished my tour, at the time I got a call from my father's. So my father said, you have to come back. So that is the only one, he told me that, Zar Li, you have to come back and your university is already started. So, and then I said, what? What major? So, and then we already signed up for you. Your major is law major. So that is already started. You already late for 1 month. You already, late for 1 month. So that's why you have to come back. So, and yes, even though at the time, honestly speaking, I really angry on my father and also my parents as well. But, we always, taught by, if you want to be a good daughter, you never say no to your parents. So yes, at the time, honestly, I was angry, but I listened to my father, my parents. So, and then I come back with, with air tickets. And then I came back to Yangon and then I go to the university. I have zero interest in law, honestly, till my second years of in Myanmar. Bachelor degree is 4 years need to study. So, till second years, I have zero interest in education. But I study every day, and then I pass the exam or something like because my mother she bugging me that if I finish my bachelor degree, they allow me to pursue my dream to attend music school and then to become a professional musician or something like that. That's why I really would like to accomplish that. And then, but in the third years of law student, so at the time in Myanmar there is uprising happening again, and then in the same time my mother's side. One of my mother's side uncle, he also faced a lot of, injustice in his, case or something like that. So at the time, one of the lawyers, she stood up and then she provide free legal services. And then she fight for my uncle to get, to get justice and to assess the justice. So at the time, that's, behavior changing my mind. And then what her, because, only the lawyers can stand up in that kind of, situation. So that is why now I have very potential to become a lawyer because I'm a law student at that time. So that is why only in my, third year's law students of second semester that is changing my mind. And then I start, reading, not memorizing, really interesting in the Evidence Act and then all other family law or something like that. Because I see number of, system fail in the country. So, but if I pass the law degree and then if I become a lawyer so that I could be a part of that changing. So that's why only in my third year, second semester is changing my, my way of from musician to become a law professional.
Wow, very, very cool. So that was like the tipping point.
Yes.
The pivotal point that where you switch tracks from your music career to your law career. I think for some of our audience members, they may not know what's going on in Myanmar in the past decade. So could you maybe try to summarize, like do your best and summarize, give us like a 1-minute summary of the current, I guess, political situation in Myanmar?
In Myanmar, we have been long time civil war, so
Yeah.
we are very well known about the civil war. So we do have over 60 years of civil war we are still fighting on. But in the 2000, starting from 2010 to 2015, we do have a civilian government, and then after that, we do have, multi political party joining to the government or something like that. So that is started in the 2015. So up until 2020. So there is there was in the 2020 there was election. So one party wins landslide, but that is but in the 2021 February 1st, maybe 3:30 a.m. Military taking over the state sovereignty. So from since, so a lot of political leaders, they were detained arbitrarily and also unlawful arrest as well. And then not only to that, but also the others, human rights defender, the protests about that. So mass arrests also happen, starting from 6th of February 2021 and up until now. Now there's a number of people got killed, maybe more than 10,000 people got killed.
Wow.
And then nearly 30,000 people were arrested. And then number of people also death in custody and also in the interrogation facility as well, due to the ill treatment and also torture. So for that, we as a lawyer, so my team, we also provide the legal assistance and then legal representation. And not only to that, but also we also document about the what is happening inside the interrogation camp as well. So documentation and also reporting and also legal analysis. But Myanmar is under a very difficult situation, but we people are still strong, and then we also still seeking for the brighter future as well.
That's right. Amazing. And that's obviously one of the reasons why you can't be at home right now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Zar Li, for sharing all of this. And I'd love to learn a bit more about this really important time. You said in 2021, this military, the junta took over or really changed the things in Myanmar. And you said there was a lot of unrest, people getting arrested, there are people losing their lives. It sounds like an incredibly difficult time. And how did you and your group begin to represent people? What was the journey to starting to help defend those human rights and help people in need in your country?
In February 2021, actually at the time, I never choose this path. That is not my dream actually, but my dream was, I will take holiday on February until, April. So I already packed, and then I made a plan for, visit or something like, because, my 10 years of career, I never been take a vacation or something like that. So that is why I think, I was thought that, that's my time. So, but on the early morning of the February 1st, so I heard that, information from the headquarters, and then a lot of people at the time, they also want me to, how could I say, live in the safe place or something like that, because they know what I was doing, and then what I will going to do, and then what I will going to respond to the situation or something like that. So, and including my parents as well, they took me from my they took out me from my apartment and then to live with them, and then so that I will not quickly respond to the situation. But as I have been mentioned, number of people got arrested was started in 6th of February, and then a lot of my friends and colleagues, they also got detained. And then even, the mass arrest was started on the 25th of February 2021. So at the time, some of the community leaders, they contact to me, please help us. For that, there was 13 of their member got arrested, and then they also would like to know whereabouts of their detention or something like that. So on the 26th February 2021, maybe around about 6:30 a.m. in the morning. So I went to the prison. So at the time, I was there just only for my 13 of my clients. So I was there only for my 13 of my clients. So and then I also make phone call or some of my old contact or something like that. At the time, that's where not only 13 people got arrested. There's a lot of people, their loved one got arrested, so that they approach me. And then they approach me. They know my, attire, so they know that I'm a lawyer at that time. So I was the only one lawyer at the time. So and then they approach me, and then I think at that moment, maybe early in the morning, I collected 300 people. They need legal counseling and then legal advice. So come on, I'm just a human, so I cannot, provide for 300 people. So that is out of my, workload. So I call to a number of my colleagues. So can you please come with me? And then they also asked me one thing that, Zar Li, can you guarantee of our safety? And then I told them, no, my lawyer duty code is also not bulletproof. So I cannot, guarantee your safety. But one thing that I can guarantee, which is like, I never leave you all behind. I will stay with you. I will stick with you in front of the prison. So, and then in the next morning, that is what I just say. And then in the next morning, there's more than 30 lawyers, they come together. And then I think maybe, and then after a week later, there were over 44 lawyers, they come joining together with us. And then we provide at the time we provide legal advice and then legal counseling. And then we try to locate whereabouts of the clients. So that's all, that's what we are doing. And then after that, so, one of the clients, family member, I think, he asked me that, what's your group's name? What is your group name? Because, they really appreciate, we stand together with them, so that, they said, he asked me that what's your group name? Because so that we could appreciate your name of your group or something. And then at the time I told them, no, we don't have name. We just here, and then we just provide legal assistance and legal counseling. And then they give that person give us a name, because you always hear for other people. So we give you a name, which is in Myanmar is which is mean a lawyers for you. So everybody can come to us, whatever, if they think that, they need a legal assistant or something like that. So, and then from since, so up until now, but lawyers, due to the security, lawyers, we work together in a safe way, so that we are not really visibility in a big group, but we met over virtually or something like that. So now we have round about 70 lawyers across the country, and then we do handle over 2,000 cases. So that is what we are doing with a group.
Amazing.
Zar Li, it's just so hard to comprehend how you are able to face such uncertain and frankly sounds like dangerous situations to represent all of these people who are experiencing such difficulty. Just hearing you say that I cannot guarantee your safety, but I will never leave. I mean, it's just your bravery, your courage is truly is incredible. What I would love to ask you is how do you move with such courage
Yeah, actually, I don't know. A lot of people, they also ask me that, you are so brave and how could you get, how did you get, this courage or something? And then I told them, no, I don't know. I always think that I'm very coward person because I always, scare, even, I scared the dog, and then I even scare up until now, no one believed me, but I still scare the ghost as well, even though that is not real, but I still scare. But, sometimes in the real situation, I always think that, we only live once. So everybody will die one day. We don't know how, and then we don't know when, but we truly believe that we will die one day. So, but before we died, before we end up in the death situation, so what we could, how can I say, help to the others people. So that is why, honestly, in my, after the coup, in every morning, I prepare to die, honestly. I prepare it. Before I died, I would like to accomplish this kind of stuff or something like that. I prepare it. So, and then the second is, how could I, communicate to others people with my voice and with my ability or something like that. But at the time, I was also very sick. But, my father's always told me that is we will rest when we end up in the box, which means it's like, in the cemetery or something like that. So we will rest. So honestly, to me, fear is in all of the people, we fear something. So that's okay. I feel the fear, but I face it anyway. I face it so that when we are in the situation, you got the courage from your friends or or from the situation or something like that. So that is why just do it, and then you will get the courage. But if you are not so sure, just take one step back, and then just realize the situation, and then it is worth, or but honestly, sometimes we also need to face some of the thing that and seeing consequences as well. So but we really need to how could I say, build on our courage as well. But to me, my courage is I think that is coming from my mother. I think my mother, she said every morning she wake up with me, and then she pray for me. She prayed for me, and then honestly, my mom also, cry when always, she prayed for me, and then I step out from my parents' home, and then I work in the field, and then I came back before the curfew time. So only at the time my mother said, "Oh, you are alive." So that energy is, I think, that courage is coming from my mother, and then my family member as well, because my family member, they 100% they support me in a prayer, and also whenever I do something even wrong, and then they say, "Sani, that's okay, that's okay." So
it must take a lot of energy to continue doing this kind of really important work. And you mentioned that at first it was you going to the prison, and then a few more gathered and a few more gathered, and now you have this 70 plus network of lawyers around the country doing, fighting for the voiceless people and defending human rights. How is it working with that network? Do you support each other? I'd be very curious to hear.
At first, if you are working with, lawyers in a large group, that is really difficult, honestly, because,
Okay.
Lawyers in a different, profession, I don't know, but I never been, end up in a different, profession. But, in the legal profession, lawyers are quite stubborn, honestly. And then they have, they know the most or something like that. So, but, in this situation, I come up with the ideology is that, sometime when this kind of situation, we hope international or even UN help or something like that. But, at least if you deep down understand the situation and analyze the situation, we only have us. So if we don't stand up together, no one will come and save us. So that is why. And then I also said, we only have us. So in this US us, so will you be part of it? So what can you bring to the team? So that's all. And then, but in the lawyers, so of course, so we do have a different opinions and we do have a different direction or something like that. But at least I could find the, common area, which is we really would like to defend for our clients to ensure to have rights, even, state of emergency situation. So, yeah, so we work together. And then at first is, that kind of thing is, never become overnight. It takes time first. And then second is, whenever you say something, people always watch your action as well. So that, trustworthy is really, really important, because in the legal career, no one earned from this, part of the member actually. So no one earned, and then no one got paid. And then even, they got in result, even they might even face, some security concern as well. But they come up with their, bare hand, and then they also, serve to the clients, which is really beautiful. But, to organize that is, honestly, that is really, really difficult as well, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So it's really beautiful, So yeah, we fight over the, table. And then sometimes we even, use really rude word as well. But, we still stick together. Now it's nearly 4 years. So we come a long way. But honestly, as a leader of that, group, sometimes I also face, ups and downs. But, my family member and then my, close friends, they always understand me. And then they are also partner in crime as well. So they don't have anything ideology, but, they also believe me. And also, they also put a lot of their faith in me as well. So that is why, in my career, so I never spoil that, privilege. And also, I always, try to understand their situation. And then I always give my best trust, to them. Sometimes, people said, I don't care about it. Whatever you do, if you think that is right, so just keep doing it or something. But if you work alone, that is okay. But if you are in a large team of, legal profession, you cannot do that. Even though if you do something right, so that right thing, it can be seen. So that, but there's a lot of, process as well. So.
Yeah. So Zar Li, I remember when we were having a chat during lunch at the ASEAN Leadership Forum, you shared with me some of the leadership challenges that you face, as leader of this group, especially with some of the younger lawyers, right, in your team. And I was just really, really touched by that story. So if you could maybe share that with us again, that would be great.
Yes. So, so I'd like to a little bit go back to my childhood. So I was born in a, I have 5 brothers and sisters. I'm a middle child. So whenever, the whole of my childhood is, I never seen myself as a leader. I will be a good follower. That's all I can do. I will be a good follower, good daughter. And then, whatever I do something, work, I try to, complete my mission or something. That's all I was thinking. So after that, incidences happen. What's happened? So I organize a lot of people or something like that. At the time, I even, I never see myself as a leader. I'm just organizer or campaigner or something like that. And then, I also recruit young lawyers, so like junior lawyers, we call it. So they have 0 experience as well. So, and then I working together with them. I love to share my experience, not only my, winning case, but also my failed case, even my mistake as well. So, and then I share it with them or something like that. But I think in a mid-year of 2022, I think there is some, disagreement. So, but I don't know where that, disagreement is coming from. And then we always have, in a weekly base, we have a dialogue, whatever, if you think, this is incorrect, or if you think unclear, or they can share it in a team or something like that. So but that's incidents what's happened in the 2022. And then young lawyers, they blame me, and then they accuse me a lot of stuff. And then they even, how could I say, bring the misinformation about me. And then I said, where that information is coming from? I'm always with you. And then, why you believe those kinds of information? And then I also asked them that where that information is coming from. And then I asked them. So because, I share, because, okay, a little bit, rewind it. So at the time, in the 2021, so I have a lot of work. So work in the grassroots, and then I have, so that is why I also share the power in the team. Like, okay, young lawyers, you will focusing in this area, and then this areas you will be managing or something like that. I share all of my, like power, or I would say like separation power in it. They also part of, so they also will be managed in a team, something like that. So, and then after, I think, 3 months later, so that kind of, disagreement, and also, how could I say, some kind of stuff is, they openly discuss in the team. I'm also appreciated, but I just listened. But they said, Zar Li, they said, Sayama means Zar Li, you have to deal with it. You have to, how could I say, dissolve this kind of thing, because this is your bad leadership. And then, what? And then I started surprised, bad leadership. So I am here not to lead, leading you. I'm here working with you. I'm not a leader. I'm working together with you or something. No, because of you, we are here together. And then now you try to walk away in this problem. And then, okay, that problem is who started it. And then, okay, for this, problem, I was not there. I do not want to, how could I say, helping them to solve the problem, because, that is kind of problem solving skills. So they also have to learn it. So, and then only at that time I realized that, okay, they think that they always see me as their leader. So I never even consider myself as a leader. I'm also part of, apart with them. I always think myself. So after that, they call me as their leadership or something. And then I also, after that, I told them, this is a leadership boat ship, ship. So you all are also leader in this process. So that's why a leader never leave behind. And then a leader never blame to others people. Let's solve it ourselves. So yeah. So this is, my team is also working like that.
Just adding on top of that, there must have been so many challenges aside from this community organizing and kind of leadership work. What were one or two other major challenges you faced in this past few years?
Wow. So that is, misinformation, to share, to misinformation, because, my work is working under like, invisible, like, low profile. Some of the things that I cannot even, how could I say, make press conference or something like that. In the past, if some other people, they have some, misunderstood or something like that, we organize the conference or something like that. At the time, I hold a microphone and then I share very detailed. But now this situation, I don't have that kind of platform. So, I also need to create, inside inner circle or something like that. Apart from that inner circle, I cannot share, a lot of, information with the public. So in this kind of situation, I even, my skill even, improve in between of, confidentiality and then transparency. So we, leadership, really, have to good at it. If not, so the security will leak. So that, this misinformation that's, really brain drain, and also, consume my energy as well. And then the second is financial. So financial is also, I face challenges the most, because yes, a lot of people said, money cannot change everything or something like that. But no, a lot of things can change with money. So because even though we provide free legal services to the clients, but none of the things that we had to assess is not free. So like, transportation, we need to use money or something like that. Even though we say, okay, we provide free legal services, can you please free ride or something? No one offer us. So that's why, financial is also really, really, how could I say, play a big role. But the thing is that our team is not follow the money, but, we also try to, how could I say, attract money to come to us. If not, so we cannot do some of the stuff or something like that. Now it's also maybe our financial is after September. I don't know how our team will deal the situation, or we don't know. So yeah, That's two things.
Thank you for sharing. And I'll probably ask again at the end, but is there a way that listeners can, for example, donate to your organization? Is there a way we can support?
Yes, actually, for that donation is I'm still, how could I say, finding a way that how people can donate, because, to me, I really would like to stay away from that, donation or something like, because money thing is very easy to accuse a person. I also do not want to, dealing with. So that is why maybe like, some other organization can collect the money. And then if they, like a project or something like that, we could also, claiming like a reimbursement or something like I'm also, we are happy to do that. But, donation is because now it's, the SAC also, how can I scrutinize, how can I say, outsider, income money or something like that. So that's why, we even don't use any local banking and then transaction or something like that. So that is why some of the stuff is even, even though we really would like to accountable, but sometimes the situation is do not give us the floor. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. And I'm going to switch gears now to your successes, because we've talked a lot about the hard things, and you mentioned you're already representing many, many people in your country. But what are some of the rewarding moments or the key accomplishments on your journey that keep you going?
Yes. The first, but that is, I do not want to say that is success, but, my clients appreciate our work. So which was happened in the late 2021, which is my, one of the family members, they called me. They also, they want to know about their, loved one, detention center or something like that. And then I make phone call, and then I even, how could I say, investigate the area of crime scenes or something like that. So, okay, finally, long story in short, so we could locate the, that person, family member, whereabout. But the sad thing is, at the time he was passed away already. So to assess the dead body, so we help her, and then after on the next morning, I think that is maybe 8 a.m. I think round about 8 a.m. because I always there by 6 a.m. So maybe round about 8 a.m. she calls me. Sayama means lawyers. I'm so thank you. And then I thought that I got information is her brother is passed away, but why, she said, thank you. And then she said, thank you. And then heartfelt, she said, Sayama, thank you so much because of your, your support. We could assess my brother death body with full of his body. So, and then even though she said, thank you, and then that morning is really quiet for me. And then look, her brother is already passed away, but she still say thank you to me. So that is, I even, at the time I was hold the phone, and then I cry honestly, but I don't know, at the time I feel like, even we are, in a very difficult situation, very difficult moment, but that person can say thank you. So that word is, accomplish my days at the time. But because I also noticed that my work is at least, ease some of the people, their heart, and something like that. And then the second is my my colleagues, we plan to meet with that person, in the next 2 days or something like that. But that person got arrested, and still, he is still in a prison, and then still facing some different charges or something like that. He wrote to me in a last month, before I went to the Malaysia. So I received his letter, and then he said, Zar Li Aye, and then in our religion, the follower asks to Buddha that in our life, a friend is, a good friend is how can contribute our life or something. At that time, the Buddha is, respond to him that if you have a good friend, so you are not even, succeed the halfway, but you already have the whole life. So that is why Zar Li Aye, now I am in prison. I cannot. I'm the breadwinner of my family member, but I cannot, taking care of my family. But at the time, you take the position without I asking you. So I thank you. And then even though this time of situation is difficult and then bad luck for me, but I'm very in a good luck to meeting you as a good friend. So thank you or something like that. He said, so that's, kind of appreciation is also, how could I say, helping me, because I assist more than 2,000 of the clients, but only few people they notice my work. But in that few people, only few people they appreciate my work with in writing, something like that. So that is really how could I say? I think that is success. I think because sometimes a lot of people they work but they never got recognition instead of blaming or something like that. But sometimes a helper also need some kinds of appreciation, but we are not doing for seeking for appreciation, but we are just trying to be a useful person in times of difficult situation. But we also need that kind of appreciation and acknowledgement. I think that is also the success. And then the last thing is I would like to say is now is we really value our limited time, even though we are very difficult or something like that. So in Myanmar, if you look back, every day you will have different kinds of battle, and then different kinds of, how could I say, people is, kill or arrest or something like that. But, they never give up. They don't give up. And then they try to seek, a brighter future. And then if you make a phone call to some, Myanmar national, instead of their difficulty, they will share you a beautiful morning, and then they still have something to eat on the table or something. They really appreciate it. So I think that is also, that is changing my eyes and then changing my mind and then changing the way that I think. So that is really success, I think, in the, mid-year of my life.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those stories. And I imagine that you're just you are a hero. I mean, it's very, this word hero is used in many contexts, but what you're doing is really risking your life for the benefit of the many people in your country. And it's really touching to hear those stories. So thank you, Zar Li. And I'll hand over to Yoshi because I've been talking a lot now.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure that you have grown in so many ways, right? In leading this group of young and experienced and maybe not so experienced lawyers. It's such an informal organization in so many ways. And if you had to kind of look back and reflect on your personal growth during this journey, like what would you say were some of the key growth areas or things that you learned along the way?
When I look back, actually, I don't have any proper mentor when I was young, honestly. So, because, my family member, our background is religion, so they are very, how could I say, active in the religious, movement or something like that. So in my, legal career, so my family cannot, show the way. And then, in our childhood is also, we don't have a lot of friends, honestly, because, we are, how can I say, different with, religion. We are coming from the, minority religion group and also minority ethnicity background. And then we are not even, how can I say, I'm not also coming from a really rich family, wealth family member or something. That there's a lot of discrimination I was faced when I was young. So that is why, I also don't have a lot of friends as well. So when I become a lawyer as well, I don't have, a lot of friends as well. So I only have one or two, a person who step up and then to talk to me. I really, friend that person in very first, we talk or something like that. So if I could go back, so actually I do a lot of mistake as well. So I do a lot of mistake, but I never intend to do that kind of mistake. But that is, unintended, I did mistake. But, that mistake also taught me a lot of, how could I say, lesson, how to make friends with others people. And then how could I say, control our temper or something like that. Because, sometimes I talk, when I was, when I am in a very motivation and passion, and then the way that I sound is really like, angry or temper or something. Actually, I'm not. But people, sometimes, even though you do something right, but, you always also need to, how could I say, listen and watch with other people respond as well. But, when I was young, I really, don't really pay attention on the outsider, what other people think that or something like that. So that also, sometimes that is good, but sometimes that is not good. But, if I look back, so if I did something mistake, I really would like to, how could I say, avoid that. But in our life is cannot, we cannot rewind the situation, but you have to deal with it. So you have to learn your mistake. And then another thing is that, we also need to learn from the other mistake as well. So a lot of people, they really love to share about their winning situation and then successful situation, but they never, a lot of people, they never try to learn about the failure situation as well. But, failure situation is also can teach you a lot, because, our measurement is not the same. Like, a lot of people, they might think that if they could buy a Tesla car, that is kind of success, but not to me. A lot of people, if they win, if they got, how could I say, brand back or something like that kind of success, if they might say, but not to me. So our measurement is not the same. So that's why, maybe you shouldn't be, how could I, in the position of comparing other people, because our goal is not the same. So,
Correct. All right. So next, I would like you to maybe provide one or two key pieces of advice for aspiring change makers. So let's pretend that, in front of us we have a young second or third year lawyer, right?
Okay.
Or another like One Young World ambassador, right? Who's about to make an impact in this world. You've been there, you've done that already. But for those for those who are listening to this podcast, who are thinking of starting something on their own or taking a big risk to make an impact, what sort of advice or tips do you have for them?
Okay. First is, discipline yourself. Discipline yourself. So a lot of people, they are very smart and then they are gifted, but they are not very disciplined. So discipline yourself. Don't, how could I say, don't, how could I make yourself comfortable, all the time. For example, like if you are, sometimes a lot of people, they don't finish their homework. So, okay, I have tomorrow, I will finish it tomorrow. Don't do that. Be disciplined. So that discipline is sometimes, when you were young, your parents will make discipline for you. But after you graduate, you have to discipline yourself. So everybody, we only have 24 hours a day, but people after 5 years later, some other people, they are very, how could I say, comfortable life or something like that. So that is, depends on their discipline themselves. So that's why first discipline yourself. And then if you are committed to finish something, try to finish it, even though no one, how could I say, acknowledge you. Wow. Just finish it. So that is the first thing, is discipline yourself. And then the second is always, open-minded. Keep open-minded. Sometimes, even though if you think that is right, but some other people, if they say wrong, don't angry with them. Just listen. Why you think that is wrong? And then just always open-minded and always welcome, different kinds of, opinion or something like that. And then the third is you are the only one who make decision. So you are the decision maker. Don't let other people decide what your life will going to or something like that. Be decision maker. You are the decision maker yourself. But the second thing is always, observe ideas, opinions or something like that. But you have to, you have to decide for yourself. But to make a decision making, you also need to improve a lot of skill. And then, a lot of, digesting system as well. So, okay, this information is not good. Okay, correct, eliminate it, something like that. So you have, this kind of skill as well. So, but these three things is never forget it. First, discipline. Second is always open-minded. And then the third is you are the decision maker for your life.
Wow. I feel like I can learn a lot from that as a not so young change maker. But thank you for that beautiful reminder, Zar Li. That's excellent. Okay, I'm going to hand the baton back to Robin here.
Looking forward, Zar Li, what's next on the horizon for you? Are there any upcoming projects or new challenges that you're going to be tackling?
Honestly, looking back to the childhood, so I always, ambitious, quiet, young girl, honestly. But after things keep changing, political situation, and then, my work-wise is changing or something like that. And then I also met number of people or something like that. I don't see myself, in the 10 years or in the 20 years. So I will become that person or something, not like that. But now is, I really want to become a person who is useful to changing other people, their life or something like that. So, but now is I'm also really, how could I say, would like to pursue the higher education, like, to study in Western country or something like that, because why I would like to going that way is now is younger generation. They are very, educated right now, but they have very less experience. So sometimes, our academic and experience should be combined. Right. But now is my education is, even though I already got master degree and then number of, postgrad, how could I say, degree, I have full belt with, but I still need to learn because because our Myanmar education system is never give a platform to the students how to think and then how to learn. So there is no, but if I would like to criticize to the education system, I also need to be in that situation so that I could learn, or I could, how could I share this common area or something like that. That is why I also would like to pursue my how could I say a higher degree in a Western, maybe like UK or something like that, and then so that I could bring back, I could feed into my Myanmar legal education system. And then the second is how could I teach to the young lawyers who really wanted to become a lawyers or something like that in teaching way. But so teaching and working is different, that is totally different, two different area, but I also would like to learn it. So yeah, that is my, maybe I might shift from the legal profession or maybe educator or something. I don't know. I don't see myself, but the sure thing is I will still be stick in the legal career as well.
I see. No musician?
No,
okay.
I don't know, but maybe 20 years later after I'm retired.
And Zar Li, as we approach the end of our conversation, what can our listeners do to support you and the incredibly important work that you do?
Yeah, so the first thing is, what you can do is, please, how can I say, publicize or, how could I say, profile, to raise the profile of what I'm doing or something like that. That is also, that is the both side, no? That is also really risky. But, the other thing is, people can, easy to, how could I say, reach me out. So that's also, but, that is win-win, I think. So you can do that. And then the second is, who really would like to support in Myanmar. So there's a lot of, they can connect with different, people to get sources or something like that. But if they don't know, you could also, how could I say, refer it to me. So I'm really happy to, connect with them. And then the third is like, financial stuff. So maybe other people, if they would like to donate or if they would like to, if they want us to continue our job or something like that. So maybe they could also part of that journey. So maybe how could I say, accept the donation and then how to work or something like that. Maybe that also really, how could I say, helping us in a different way.
And where can people find out more about your work? Is there a website, or what's best in terms of social media as well?
Okay. In the social media is they could only see me, honestly. And then in the LinkedIn or they could only see me, honestly. But, I'm also still in the discussion with my teams that should we, put our work in the website or something like that. But, majority thing is, that is really, how could I say, we only see that is will be likely we will receive the negative impact or something like that. So that is why we stay, try to lay low. But if like-minded people, not just how could I asking, but if they really would like to help, so they could directly reach out to me through social media. They can find me on the Facebook or Twitter or even on a LinkedIn. So yeah.
Okay. Great. We'll share some of those links if you're happy with that, Zar Li, in the show notes as well.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I've learned so much, and honestly, I mean, hearing your story, you're such a pioneer in that. You mentioned you were the first lawyer in your community. You were a musician, and then became this incredible human rights defender and a voice for the voiceless in many ways. And I just cannot commend you enough for the incredible work you're doing. And as I mentioned, you don't really often meet real life heroes. So it's really a huge honor to speak with you today. How about you, Yoshi? How was this conversation for you?
Exactly. No, I think you just summed it up so well, Robin. I'm just so glad that we were able to bring you on to this podcast, Zar Li. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, Myanmar has been one of my favorite countries that I've had the chance to visit over the past, several years. And then it's just so sad, so unfortunate that I haven't been able to go back because of the current political situation. When I was back there, I think in 2013 or 14, I met a young boy in Mandalay, and he saw that I was a tourist, and he stopped me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm trying to learn English. Can we practice English as you go up these stairs to the top of the temple?" And I said, "Of course, yes." And it just shows how resourceful and how intelligent and how determined your people are. And it's just so unfortunate that right now the political situation does not allow people to connect with the outside world. And your work that you're doing is helping to change that. It's fighting to change that. And so if there's anything that Robin and I can do through our network to help advance that cause, we 100% have your back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So yeah, any last messages or any last thing you want to communicate to our listeners?
Okay, last thing that I would like to say. Sure. So in this given situation in the world, not only in Myanmar, in every world, I travel more than 15 different countries. And then I travel more than, 50 times to the international or regional or something like that. Even developed country facing different kinds of challenges and problems. So, and then even, wealthy family or even very rich family, or even, if you think that role model family member, they are also, facing different challenges as well. They're going through something. But I would like to I would like to remind you one thing is that, appreciate what you have right now. Just appreciate it, because nothing is uncertain. Even though if you are facing the difficult situation, I promise you this will not last everlasting. So this will be through. So that is why please appreciate yourself, and then be appreciate in every day, and then always look forward for the future.
Thank you. Amazing. There's no better way to end this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Right. Well, thanks so much,
thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
to our listeners, we look forward to seeing you next time as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.